Hello, and welcome to Have At Us, Reviews for Your Pleasure. I'm Joshua.
And I'm Nietzsche.
This is bonus episode 5, Newfound Adventure. This is Final Fantasy XIV. This is part 1.
There's a decent amount to talk about.
They were talking about having more, like the Tataru questline, whatever that is going to end up being. But they can't figure out a good plan and have bad... their scheduling is not very good right now.
It's been not great for a little bit. We'll see. Maybe the changes to the 4-month system will be better. But I feel like they're just behind and they're just scrambling at this point.
Well, they got some problems going on, but starting on a positive note, perhaps the most positive for you, no twins.
They're mentioned.
Yeah, but we don't have to see them.
I don't have to see them, interact with them, do anything with them. I thought we were going to see them in Garlemald, but we didn't. And it's Y'shtola. The whole way. Just the whole time, basically. I was very pleased.
Yeah, I was pretty surprised.
I was pretty happy. I also feel like we nicely had a good mix of, like, old Scions and new Scions. And it worked really well. I feel like it fit the title of the patch, right? It felt like we were on a newfound adventure.
It was pretty strong. I was surprised. They definitely gave a lot of Y'shtola moments that people will talk about for a while.
Will they?
Well, I can think of 2 in particular.
I can only think of one. This is the book falling on her head scene.
That's one of them.
Uh-huh.
And then there's, of course, her summoning scene, where she summons her 2 avatars.
I don't know if that's really worth, like, talking about all the time.
Oh no, people are already talking about it.
In a positive or negative?
As a positive, like as a cute.
Yeah, because that's what it was.
Yeah.
It's funny.
It was very funny. And I gave Y'shtola a lot of shit in the dialogue options.
Did you?
If I could, I did.
Oh, that's mean. I was so nice to her, as always.
Nah, I wanted to see her get a little snarky with me. I thought it was funny.
Well, you start off trying to find this random treasure vault, basically.
Correct. Random treasure. Who doesn't want to get rich? You know what I'm saying?
Well, I'm at 72.5 million over here or something, so I'm feeling pretty good.
Yeah, but you'll be rich when you can buy an entire housing ward, okay?
I am no crafter. I don't run that. That's not happening.
But we're finding treasure, and we gotta get a party together because...
Well, you gotta figure out where it's at first.
Well, sure, but I mean, your map. Conveniently, there's a treasure map that we can just go and buy.
Well, we didn't buy that. Instinian
That's true.
Definitely bought that.
Instinian fronted the cost, so that's good.
It was so stupid. I was like, I don't need Instinian again being bad with money. Just like, why? Why is this? But then he, like, justifies it like he's a good person, and I'm like, I feel like you didn't actually know, and you still fell for it, and then you realized afterwards, and you're just saving face, Instinian. That's what I think about it.
I just don't know how much he paid. Like, it's not specific. It's just a bag of gil.
It's not a very big bag.
Yeah, I'm like, is this like 10 gil? How big is a gil anyway? Is it a penny? I have no idea.
I mean, there could be different denominations.
That's true.
I don't know that.
That's true. I have no idea how much he spent for this, so maybe it wasn't even that bad.
He wasted money. The whole point was the gag that Instinian sucks with money. And it wasn't funny to me. I don't like it.
It was fine. It was pretty predictable once you see him, like, oh, okay. Well, even from the trailer for the patch, you kind of got the sense that it was going to happen, I suppose.
I only watched it once, and I don't remember Instinian in it.
Fair enough. But we get this treasure map so that, Instinian could help the poor, the orphans.
Because he's got a heart of gold over there.
Something like that. And then after doing so, then we go and talk to our elephant buddy.
Yeah, what's his name again?
Elephant buddy. It starts with an M.
I expected you to write this down after we spent the whole last Endwalker episode not having his name.
I would write it down if he was worthy of being written down.
He's a decent part of the Endwalker storyline. He helps us out. He is honored to help us out. Like, it's an honor for him to just repurpose a fishing boat for us.
Matcha? No, Matcha.
It's like Matsu or something, isn't it?
Oh, I don't know how to say this. It's something like that. It starts with an M.
Anyway, he helps us out very nicely. Vritra's over there being nice to us for a little bit.
For a bit.
And then we screwed that up.
Our bad.
Yeah, you talked to Kryl up to that point, right? You went and saw her, wasted your time with her. Or is that...
That's when we go recruiting so we can go get Catboy, the X-Shark.
my good friend Grahatia?
Good old Graha.
That was also useful because I like Grahatia, and so I was like, oh, I get Grahatia and Y'shtola hanging out with me? This is pretty okay. I got Instinian over here. I like all you guys.
It's a pretty decent group of people on this quest.
I like that we kept it, smaller. We purposefully, we're like, no, we're going to leave some of these people to their own thing.
Well, there's a part where Thancred comes up, and he's like, oh, no room for me, huh? And then we invite him,
We don't really invite him.
Wow.
Y'shtola's a mean person about that, and I thought that was hilarious.
That happens, and then he disinvites himself. So, perfect. Keeping it small, he understands.
That he's one of the weakest links in the Scions? Yeah.
Yeah, that's what he thought. That's what he said.
I mean, at least he's got a good understanding of his position.
Got important things to do, apparently. I don't really feel like he does, in the grand scheme of things. Who the heck is he really spying on? I don't know. Whatever. But we're together. We get our crew together. Y'shtola's the one that matters. Graha's there because he's new and he needs to be in as many cutscenes as possible before we kill him off.
I'd love if we killed Grahatia, but Grahatia is safe. I'm telling you, there's no way Grahatia dies. People love Grahatia too much.
Who isn't safe at this point, though?
I mean, I feel like everybody is safe because we just don't want to kill anybody anymore.
I think we're at that point where they're like, we just don't kill anybody.
That's actually relevant, yeah. It's sad. Someone should have died in the expansion, but maybe we'll kill someone in the patches or next expansion, but I don't believe it at this point. I mean, Alizé's still alive, and we're basically just trudging trash behind us, so...
We're not killing Alizé, okay?
I mean, she should have already died.
Should have.
Multiple times we could have killed her.
There's many times. Like when she's reintroduced in Heavensward with the poison. She could have just died right there.
Would have been great.
Think of how different the game would have been.
Probably one of the best games ever made at that point. Without having someone drag it down so far. Anyway, nice little rant on Alizé because she sucks. We also had Rianger in there representing the Laparites.
Our friends.
And I was like, okay. You're here. I like you. You're not as good this round. I feel like you don't have any good, flowery, long, excessive statements on something. Which is really the only thing that sells Rianger. It's the only reason I really need him.
You probably could have done without him.
I mean, he basically introduces what, we want to use the moon for now.
Storage. I mean, not enough room on Earth. Use the moon. That's what I say.
It's a contingency plan. It works. I didn't really care. But yeah, there's not much besides just kind of setting things up for us getting to the dungeon.
Pretty much.
Just kind of go find your people. You have to go hang out with Y'shtola. Do the book scene.
Did you like their library?
I really liked all of the library stuff. I like being in the library. I like that Y'shtola's over there just kind of being distracted. And she's like, well, we have found the book. But, we could. We're not going to, but I'm thinking about it still.
Read every other book. Indeed. I like how she's like, oh yeah, we'll search for this, and then you'll search for this. I'm gonna read this first book I pick up.
She got a little distracted, okay? It's fine. She knows the Warrior Light solves everything anyway.
I mean, that is true. We're continuing on with the quest to save the world.
I mean, we've saved this world. We're clearly not saving this world again.
I mean...
We're clearly jumping to the 13th.
Yeah, where we get to fight Golbez.
That's a weird deal, too.
So when you saw this shadow creature guy...
You know what I thought it was? I thought that they were stupid enough to bring Xenos back. Because the line is, I have returned, it's red and black...
Oh,
and I was like, and then there was something that looked kind of weirdly like a scythe, and I was like, if you bring Xenos back, legit the patch after you killed him, oh man, I'm gonna lose it. This was a good patch, and if you do that, I'm gonna definitely trash this entire patch over that. And they didn't, but I thought for a while, and then it's Golbez talking to his weird elemental things. The altars, I guess.
Right. Now, when you saw that armor, did you immediately think, oh, that's Golbez?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, I saw the shoulders.
Even from the behind.
Yeah, I saw the shoulders, and I was like, oh, all right, there's my boy.
I was like, all right, you're really playing this game up this round. All right.
Now, what I'm hoping doesn't happen is we try to pull a Kane Highwind situation and we make like Estinian the bad guy or something.
Basically, just do what we did with Laha Brea and Thancred. Is what's probably going to happen, I feel like.
They're not going to do that, because that would suck.
I think it will suck, but I think that's what's happening. I do. I don't know. I feel like the best thing that can come out of this is, like, you have to fight, like, the 4 fiends and kind of their traditional status.
I'm okay with that.
But other than that, like, you can do nothing much more than speculate on what's happening. Is Golbez actually, like, going to be an antagonist? He seems like he's against us and not happy that we're going to arrive. But that doesn't mean a whole lot. I don't know. It seems real questionable and not great. But until I can see more, I'll not, like, judge it too harshly.
I'm interested in general in the 13th. I like demons, so I'm excited to see what that's all about. I just hope we don't do needless plots that will suck.
I think it's going to be a boring looking area. This is my concern, is that it's all shrouded in darkness. And it's going to be boring and stupid. That's my concern here. It's also supposed to be like, you know, you can't go in without, like, Void Scent just, like, crawling all over you, and the etheric corruption, and I was like, okay.
That could be a problem.
I just think there's a lot of things that could easily be a problem. Not that I know that they are a problem yet. I mean, we're going to spend, 4 more patches with, I guess the half patch of, 5 is technically considered generally its own weird little patch. So we're going to send 5 more patches. Getting there. So,
True. What I'm really curious about is for the last expansions, the 0.3 has always been the big trial. And I assume that they'll still have a big trial for 6.3. But we have no idea what that trial could even be at this point.
It's, we open the gate and then our dragon friend comes through corrupted by the ether and we kill her right in front of, Vashan, or whatever his actual name is. Ritra's Simulcon. That's what happens. So that's too dark. We won't do that.
That would be pretty cool, though.
I think it'd be great. I think we should have to kill this dragon girl. We won't. What's her actual name there?
As Jaya. Or as
Jaya?
Whatever.
As Jaya?
They said it, and I said, I'm not going to say that.
I mean, it'd help if someone else said it that wasn't Ritra, but I don't remember someone else saying it that wasn't Ritra. But anyway, that's what's happening.
At least we now know the last member of the Brood, right? Super
well,
exciting.
He'd already stated, her name, but we didn't really know anything about her or her connection, and now we know Ritra has, father issues.
True.
Because he repeatedly needed to bring it up. Well, I don't know. I was like, okay, we're getting somewhere. This is a decent setup. I'm fine with this setup. I have no real issues with the setup. I just don't really know that you have done enough to alleviate concerns about where we're going. But you got 5 patches, basically, so we'll see.
It's good setup. I did think it was kind of long, the quests.
It meanders in the, third quarter of it. It feels very, just meandering and padding.
Mm-hmm.
And then it brings itself back around, and we're fine, but...
Overall, I think the MSQ is good. Did you like the dungeon?
I've only done this dungeon once, because I haven't had time to do more on it, because I still don't have that card. But I did it early. I did it at 5, or I did it 6 in the morning. And so I don't exactly remember what the first 2 bosses were, but I definitely remember the third boss, because it's annoying and stupid.
Well, the first boss is Hentai Monster.
Tentacle monster, huh?
Correct.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, it's like an octopus thing. It draws the lines on the ground.
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, that was fine. I feel like I got all these mechanics in the first 2 fights easy.
Easy to understand. Boring, though.
Yeah, well, I had a good group, too. We cleared that in, I think, 15 minutes.
I don't remember how long the first clear took for me.
Oh, I was watching it because I, only had 30 minutes. I couldn't have this dungeon go disastrously bad.
Fair enough. I just thought the first boss was kind of boring, but whatever. It's a dungeon.
Yeah, both the first 2 bosses were super easy.
I was hoping in the second boss the lasers would start spinning or something. That'd be more interesting. But it's really just find the safe spot, stand there, don't run into a beam.
It repeats way too quickly.
Mm-hmm.
And we only made it through that based on tank privilege because our tank took 3 hits in a row. Just bam, 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 and he's sitting real low. And I was like, if you die, we're half health, do not die. I will be angry. that we wiped here, even though it's day one. Everything was going good. But then you get to this stupid third boss, and it's like, oh, let me wrap you in this nonsense.
Beyblade, let's go.
Yeah, and then just spin you, and I hated it. It was so stupid. It wasn't consistent on its time frame. No. It's a waste of my time. All my rotation is complete garbage because you just screwed all of it up. The mechanic is bad, and I hope we never, ever do it again. I'm glad you did something different. That's fine. You can be creative. Don't do it again.
I tend to not like mechanics where I lose complete control of my... Well, you don't lose... You can still control the spinning. But I have no rotational control, and that gets really frustrating. I generally like bosses when I can maintain uptime.
That's a large problem with it. The other problem is like, the third time it happens, it's longer.
I never saw third.
We saw a third round.
Oh.
And so, it was longer. Like, you went further back, so you had to, like, actually curve around and back.
That sounds fun.
Which was stupid, because I didn't think I would have to do that. I was just going for it. I wasn't looking at my timer on the debuff, because I assume there is one, but...
I don't even know. I didn't look.
It was so stupid. I was not happy with that at all. And I didn't get a card, and then I was more displeased.
I'm sorry. I did get the card.
Oh, I know you got the card. You also probably had time to run the Alliance Raid more times and probably have that card.
No, I've only ran the Alliance Raid once. But the Alliance Raid, that was an exciting time, right? Did you like it?
I didn't like the story. I was excited for the story, and now I don't care. I don't want anything to do with this story anymore. It's going to be boring and predictable and stupid, and I don't want it.
I see.
I was really hoping that, like, we had an actual reason, not just like a standard tropey, like, the gods have to test you. Okay. Why? Why? I had hope that this would be interesting, or I'd get answers on something, or, nothing. I'm getting nothing. And I'm just like, okay, well, at least your main scenario was good. I really enjoyed that, so. But the actual raid, I was like, okay, this is decent. Like, it's interesting. I don't really enjoy the stupid first boss where we got our moving hammer nonsense.
Pyrogot?
Yeah, I did not enjoy that. Because I just feel like it asks me to not be able to keep uptime frequently. And maybe I just suck because I've only ran it once. But it was annoying. It didn't seem very intuitive with, like, only these move. I don't know. I didn't like that. I just thought it was kind of stupid.
Personally, as far as the story goes, the new character, Derek, that's what I called him.
Ashalan? The Wanderer?
That's what everyone thinks, right?
I feel like if he's not, then whatever, but it seems pretty likely.
If he's not, then this character is exceptionally boring.
I guess, I don't know. He's whatever. He's not interesting. We brought our new, Kryl friend over.
Yeah, right there at the end.
Ephemeral.
I was like, okay, I don't know who this is.
I like getting her. I like that we bring the Archon love back, and she's just, like, so happy, and...
That's kind of funny, because it's a cool callback.
Well, it just shows, like, that she's a, scholar of Charleon, basically.
Yeah.
That's fine. That's cool.
It's a neat detail.
You'll be here, and we'll come back to this. I didn't really need the Alliance raid to be blocked by main scenario.
I thought that sucked.
That was a really piss-poor choice, because it's like, Krau's like, oh, I've got another thing for you to do. Come back. When? Forever, no, a day away, it felt like. It really wasn't that bad, but it felt forever away, but I feel like it really screwed up how many people were there, and all of that, and I couldn't get my party finder to fill for people, passing the card, which could be due to a lot of things.
Well, it was annoying for our FC too, because some of our people had to work, and so when they got home, we had to do raids, and then after, Savage, we had to go in and get the Extreme done, and then, we gotta get the Alliance raid done also. But you gotta go through MSQ.
You have to do the dungeon.
Yeah, it was just a big problem for everything. I don't like having it placed inside the MSQ requirement. That sucks.
I feel like they were trying to keep things cohesive and, like, people are in these different spots for different reasons. And then I'm like, guess. But from that point, Kryl could technically be in 2 spots. If I, go do the Alliance raid right after, and then I go through main scenario, and there's still Kryl just hanging out here, but she's technically over doing Alliance raid stuff. And I was like, no, don't do this again. This is a bad choice. And it was upsetting.
I agree. But the Alliance raid itself.
Yeah. What do you think about Braga over there or whatever?
He's the worst of the 4 fights.
Yep,
but
that is true.
Don't hate it. I also was playing Red Mage, so uptime was not a problem. Although, to be honest, even on Melee, the only time it looks like it could potentially be a problem is when he goes north. But honestly, you can just go and eat it. All you'll get is, what, a Vuln stack? Who cares?
You can eat it on decent gear. Right, I have decent gear, and I ate that and dropped to about 5%. You're trusting your healers. I don't run this with my free company because I don't have one. I don't have friends in this game. So I have to run this with pugs. Mean pugs who steal all of my cards.
So Byragot
Sucks.
Otherwise, his hammer mechanic, I don't like how long it takes for these things to go off. It's kind of easy at that point. Like, I have an hour to figure out where to go. Alright, whatever. But otherwise, I don't think his fight's bad. It's just not great. But Rogger, very good. I like Rogger a lot.
I liked that it seemed intuitive, and then it wasn't exactly as intuitive as it seemed. And then I got it, and I was like, oh, okay, that's fair. People were not getting it very well. We wiped 3 times. 3? Ooh. Yeah, it was a long clear.
Ooh, that's pretty bad.
Because most of us didn't understand that it was by color. Mm-hmm. And that's what the meteor was, and we got it twice in a row, where it was just like, oh, we needed to run to it. And so the third time it wasn't, and we ran to it, and just, bam! Like 20 of us were dead. It was bad. It was not recoverable.
I think I only wiped on the last boss. First thing with Rogger, though, is I saw the arena, and I'm like, thank the Lord we have a different arena design. Holy crap, me and my FC, we were pogging, alright? We were so happy to not have something that was just a square or a circle.
I don't really care. It's not that big of a deal. It's a nice little callback, and that's about it. I moved on.
Oh, no, I was so happy, and then to have, like, the fingers be part of the mechanic, I was like, this is great. I would like a Savage version of this fight. That's not happening, but that could be cool.
No, it was fine. Once I got it figured out, I was like, okay, this is neat, this is cool, this is different.
It's definitely not too hard. I also like that there was no actual, like, trash packs. You had 2 mini bosses that you had to kill or whatever, but there was no trash, it's not like Puppet's Bunker after the first boss where there's just like a billion ads that you have to kill. That's annoying. Didn't have anything like that, so that's great. And then you get the third boss. Is it pronounced Azima?
Well, sure.
That's what I thought.
I'm telling you, I still don't understand how all those things work. It was really frustrating. I was really angry. Because I just felt like every time I thought it sounded like it worked, it just, flipped the script on me, and it wasn't intuitive, and I was just failing at all of it. And so I died, 10 times. No joke. I was just repeatedly dead. Whew. And so I was just really angry. I didn't understand this fight. Lots of people didn't understand this fight. We were sucking it up. It took forever. Her design, grand.
No, I don't know.
Wonderful. She's real flashy. Her mechanics look cool. If I understood them all, it'd be nicer. But I don't. I understand basically none of them at this point, because it's been forever, and I've had to do 17,000 other things in between that. So I'm gonna suck that up when I go in on whatever day I can actually go in again. Because I don't actually know at this point.
I personally thought C was maybe the easiest boss.
No.
If I was being honest. But a lot of her mechanics, I saw the orbs C kicks, and I'm like, oh, it's fur. Okay. And then the rest came fairly naturally. I thought it would be more annoying if I was on Melee, which you were.
I'm always on Dragoon. And that was not working very well. Her arena's really big, too. And since I can't, see everything super well, it's an annoying level of, swing the camera everywhere. And then by the time you've swung the camera everywhere, you're dead. Don't worry.
Fair enough. My favorite part is when she makes the triangle in the middle.
Yeah, I saw that. I got raised into that and then immediately died.
It looked like it had a really strong dot on you if you hit the fire.
I died when I hit the fire, so it didn't matter.
Oh, whew.
I don't know what the debuff was because I was dead.
It just puts a hot on you. Or a dot. Not a hot.
Nope, I did not. I failed. Everything about it.
Yeah, no, I thought she was alright, but again, not that hard. But it's an alliance raid, to be expected. And then we get the final boss, Malthol. Did you understand this boss?
I understood that boss fine. I died once because I didn't see the markers of 1, 2, and this is where I'm gonna go, and I didn't know what they did. So I was like, you're gonna do things. I'm gonna die, and then it'll be fine. That's what happened. I died. I figured it out. I moved on.
That's funny. This is actually the boss I struggled the most with as far as learning the mechanics, but that's because I was so focused on the name of the mechanics. I was like, as above, so below. And then there was the fire and the blue. And I'm like, okay, does this mean, what does this phrasing mean for the mechanic? And it's really not that important. It's more important that you just look at it visually. Which makes sense, but I entirely ignored that and was just trying to base it entirely off the name of what he was saying at the beginning. And then my FC was like, oh, this. And I was like, oh, I'm stupid.
I mean, I got hit by the first one because I just guessed and I guessed wrong. Because that's how that generally goes. Because it's not consistent, and so I have a 50-50 chance, and I almost always choose the wrong one in new mechanics. Almost always.
So next time you just go, no, that's what I thought it would be, so it's not that.
Nope, I just still probably choose the wrong one, don't worry.
Yeah. Otherwise, I thought he had a pretty cool fight. I don't know that I needed a really long cutscene in it.
Oh, the cutscene thing, I was not happy about that.
Especially since that is where we wiped, our group failed the wait mechanic. And so we had to watch the entire cutscene to die, and then you have to run back and do it again.
Oh, no. People had asked for no spoilers, and then we got there, and there were people who I'm sure had been in your position, and they were like, no. And they spoiled it, and we did it right. And I don't care. I agree you shouldn't have spoiled it because people asked you not to, but I didn't care. I didn't have time to waste, and I don't care if you spoil mechanics. If we want to sit here and you want to explain every mechanic to me before we go in, I'm not going to care. I'm going to move on. I don't find a lot of joy in figuring out mechanics, so...
Okay, well, how are you going to win the World First Ultimate if you don't even care?
Well, when I haven't cleared P4S, I haven't cleared any of, Savage for this tier. You have also not cleared P4S.
We have not cleared P4S yet. We're on the last phase. We'll get it done.
Mm-hmm.
But
before Ultimate comes out, you better.
That'd be nice. Otherwise, I think the Alliance Raid. I think this is way better than Nier.
Well,
Nier sucks. So
I mean, I'll take a predictable story over no story. Like, that's a step up. It's not Evil East story. Evil East story was interesting and good, but I really like Evil East as like a representation from the series, and I just like it.
As far as like an instance, though, I think this is the best of the first instanced Alliance Raid probably ever. But I don't really like Void Art. Labyrinth of the Ancient sucks. And then you get, was it Rabanastre?
Rabanastre.
And that is okay. Copied Factory is a snooze fest.
It's really hard to know, like, with Rabanastre, because Rabanastre was apparently pretty harsh on release.
Yeah, I wasn't there for that.
But I don't know of even all these mechanics at this point because I haven't had to see them all.
Well, you see more of them now than you did in Shadowbringers.
Oh, I'm sure you do.
So that's something.
Actually, well, I've done the Monastery, but I don't think I've done the other two. I don't think I've done Lighthouse or Rabanastre since the rework. And Monastery, I was pretty close to when that released, so I had to see and do all those mechanics normally.
Fair enough.
I know those mechanics pretty well.
Fair enough. I'm just happy that we don't have Copied Factory, because Copied Factory bosses suck. It's a chore to go through. I don't care about Nier. I don't like the idea of a whole Alliance Raid being a crossover with another game. Ugh, that sucked.
I thought Nier might be good, and then it sucked because there was no story to it. It was just basic, boring nonsense that had no relevance to anything and was boring and stupid, and it was just more robots. And I was like, great, robots atop of robots atop of robots. That's exciting, not really ever at all, for any reason.
Super exciting.
This is a decent raid. I don't hate it. I'm always going to hate that we do cards this way. It's complete nonsense. Completely stupid.
I do think it sucks.
Like, and then I had like 15 people wait. I waited like 2 minutes too. I was like waiting to see how many people were going to stick it out.
Like you waited to roll?
Yeah. Just to see if I could get people to leave. And like nobody wanted to leave. And I was like, okay, getting this card is going to do you no good unless you actually care about collecting. And I guarantee not all 15 of you care about collecting this card. And then I rolled garbage, as I was pretty confident I would.
I rolled bad on everything in the...
No, I got 94 on one of the orchestra rolls. And I was like, that is not good enough to be confident. And it was the last orchestra roll on the list. And I was like, that's cool. I maybe could have won a card. Nope. And so, yep, I was just angry and upset by that. Because... this is a stupid system for cards. But that's okay. I have all the other cards besides that in the dungeon one. I don't know how you wouldn't at this point, but...
you could be like me and not do triple triad. So, Alliance Raid, story, not amazing. Hopefully it gets better.
I think the next one's going to be basically about the same story-wise, and then the third one's going to be basically about the same until the very end, and then it's going to be like, oh, here's this nonsense. An Ascian. Because why not?
I hope. That'd be pretty funny.
Oh my gosh. I was really excited for it, and now I have not a lot of hope for it. But we'll see. It was decent and not terrible to play through. I mean, the third boss, she will probably be fine once I actually understand what the heck's going on. But
that's generally how it goes. Alright, so then we get the new Extreme in Singer's aria.
Got that figured out? Yeah?
Yeah, well, Endwalker and Sing. Let's stop it. Alright.
Mm-hmm. I did not like most of the, repeat back mechanics. Did not like that nonsense.
Well, you have to memorize them?
Yeah, it's not the memorization of it. I can memorize it. It's that it screws me up because it's in the reverse order of how I want it to be. I just want the circles to align with, one circle is the first mechanic, right? And so then by the time I've, tried to figure out that I'm in the wrong because I just want to do this in an intuitive fashion, I've already failed.
You died.
Well, I group followed most of the time. You can group follow a lot in this, raid.
That's honestly my main problem with it.
Is it that you can group follow most of it? It doesn't ask you to do a lot of personal responsibility?
It would be fine if Zodiark was also not that. But Zodiark Extreme Zodiark was even worse. Where it was literally one person can lead everybody to victory, your first pull. Easy peasy. Not a problem. But this is pretty close. And I think that's boring. I think you got Twin Song Mechanic, which is really the only one that's difficult.
I need you to explain to me what mechanic that is.
That is the 5-head.
I think that's difficult to read and understand, because I didn't try. I watched the guide, and it said, this is how it works, and I went, someone's going to figure that out, and I'm going to follow them. That's what you just told me. You spent a minute and a half telling me how this mechanic works, but let me tell you what, all you really said was...
Follow person.
Everything rotates 90 degrees. Identify the safe zone from there at the start, and then follow whoever you trust after that. It'll work. And it did, every time. That's not really true. We wiped a few times because people followed other people, but...
That's the main problem with mechanics like that, is it's very easy to get split if somebody else is confidently wrong.
Mm-hmm.
But overall, you get 2 totems for this. It's not very long. The DPS check is not very difficult.
We didn't see Enrage when we cleared, did we?
No.
Yeah, we had not done grand, and my uptime is pretty piss poor in that fight because I'm not overly comfortable with where the planets are going to explode and stuff.
So with the FC, we cleared it in 1 lockout, and we had to use Healer LB3 to raise everybody except the 1 healer at a later mechanic, and we still cleared it without seeing Enrage. It's pretty forgiving.
Yeah, we used Enraged on our clear when we did it. Or we used Limit Break.
Yeah, we did.
Not Enraged. That's not the same thing.
I like the mechanic where you have to either stack in the middle or go to the side. I like it because it's easy and feels satisfying to do for myself. It's also the one point where you actually have to have some self-responsibility and know where you're at. Unless you're with me, in which case I'll do the callouts for you also.
I mean, you did do my callouts for me.
But it's an easy mechanic, so whatever. Otherwise, you get the rings coming down.
I got it from the first one. I can read that easy.
That's where I have the hardest time, actually, is where the initial safe spot is. After that, I don't think it's that bad.
Nope, because then I can't see everything. So I'm really limited. If we're up north, I can't see the southern ones.
Mm-hmm.
So I can't do that very well. One time, I did actually read the mechanic right the whole time by myself.
Did that make you feel good?
Once. Let me tell you, only once did I do that. Every other time, I either died or I followed other people. So, no, I can't, I don't like it. There's too much, happening, running across the screen, and nope.
Fair enough.
I don't like it, but I'm not, the target person for this type of content, because I don't really enjoy it. I will do these things, really, because I want the cats.
Now we got a new cat.
We got a new cat. I haven't seen it in game, I've only seen it in the picture.
That's not surprising.
And it looks fine. I don't think I've seen any of the new mounts in game.
How have I?
I bought one of them. And promptly sold it for just under 20 million, so...
Gotta get that money.
I mean, I suffered through a lot of nonsense with groups to be able to, get that on Rail Mount and make it.
Back with Titan and Leviathan.
Titan and Leviathan were... They were bad. I thought Ultimate Weapon will be better, and it's not really much better. But I think I only have to do 4 more clears of it, and then I will have the title for 50, and then I will be done. I should be back at 600 after that, and so I could run this again and buy a new mount or whatever when it comes out if I want it.
I mean, that's pretty good. I have done so little Unreal. I didn't even go into Leviathan once. I cleared Titan once or twice, and I cleared Shiva twice. And then we just cleared this once, which we cleared on the first pull, which was kind of nice.
Yeah, well, I didn't realize you could cheese that last round of the orbs with the limit break, the tank limit break, which made that way easier.
Now, you want to talk about an easy enrage timer.
Well, it gives you a lot of room, but like the next clear I did without you, oh my god. They didn't want to discuss anything, they didn't want to do anything, we failed, and then we immediately pulled and played this annoying game, and the mechanic of orbs was sacrificial death. We will raise people.
That's my favorite.
And we cleared. We didn't see enrage. But it took 30 minutes.
This classic sack strat. Let's go.
Because people couldn't do the last round well enough. And I was just like, can we just... Nope. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't understand. It's not even difficult. You just assign groups. You don't even have to assign groups. If we just do a proper party setup, it already should basically be easy to assign and figure out. And then you just assign partners and then you move on. It's very simple. I don't know why this is hard.
I don't know either.
But nobody will do it. But the group we got into was, real fortunate. They were just like, we're going to tank low and break this and we're going to move on. And then we did.
First pull, let's go. Done. I'm happy about that. Fair enough.
We cleared. I should only have to do this 4 more times and then I'm done. I'm not have to deal with Unreal because Unreal kind of sucks a lot.
I like the idea of bringing old trials up to current standards. I think as an idea, that's very cool. I don't like the Fox Hollows minigame, which is why I don't bother with Unreal, because that's just stupid and I don't enjoy that kind of thing. And I kind of hate that it's only one fight. I also hate that it's rotational based. Like you already brought up, well, in Shadowbringers you brought up Shiva and Titan and Leviathan. Okay, well, just leave them up then. You've already done it. Just keep it in the game. I hate that it's only the one. That's not fun to me.
It's weird. I don't really understand why you do it that way. It doesn't make a lot of sense to me either.
Especially since they're item level locked. They sync to the lowest, basically the lowest possible point for a level 90. So just keep it there.
They did last time. I don't know what they did this time. I didn't look at it. I didn't look at the item level, actually.
65. 565.
Oh, that's pretty low, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm just like, okay, I don't understand.
But I think all last round, everything in Shadowbringers was 435 or something. Like it was like you just hit 90.
80.
Or 80 item level. And it was kind of annoying. But I mean, those fights aren't fun. People don't want to do things correctly, and people suck, and it's just angering, and I've just become the person who, like, if this group kind of sucks in 3 polls, then I just leave.
Man, you would enjoy Savage Party Finder.
Oh, I would be the problem in Savage Party Finder.
Ooh.
I know I would. Like, there's just no reason. If we're in, like, a reclear group, there's no reason why this should take this long.
I often agree, but fortune is not always kind.
I don't know. It was really impressive on Unreal when you could just, like, walk in, you find a group, and then you guys clear flawlessly, and then you go into the second one, and you clear flawlessly, and you're like, guys, this only took, like 17 minutes of my time this week.
Can we just make this a static? Like, we'll just meet up this time every week. Thanks.
Sometimes I thought about it. I thought about, like, man, maybe this could work. Then I'm like, no, I don't want to deal with that. I'm never going to actually do much with this. Well, I just wanted to make money, and I've made decent money on it, and I'm pretty happy now.
True enough.
Well, yeah, you get this stupid troll mount out of that, which I don't think looks good.
It's an ugly mount.
I don't really want it, which is why I didn't keep it. And then, you get the pod. Seen the pod in game?
I own the pod.
You bought the pod?
Yep.
I wouldn't bought it because it was cheap.
Yeah, it's super cheap. I use it. I think it's cool.
No. It feels off like I thought it would, and I'll never use it again. It's fine.
I like it. It's cool. I mean, everyone wanted that. They added it. They made it very easy to acquire. Can't really complain too much.
I just want wings from the map stuff. I just want the wings as my mount.
That'd be cool.
And the only reason I really want it is because it has haptic feedback on it, and so it feels really nice. It just feels really cool.
That would be neat. But that's not happening.
I don't know. Lots of people want it. It could happen. I don't think it will. But yeah, and then we got the new Paisa mount.
Well, that's coming to the cash shop. Or it's on the cash shop.
Yeah, which is weird.
Which means I'm not getting it.
I mean, I'm not getting it, but it's really funny to me. Just because it looks so creepy.
It's very odd.
So weird. I feel like this was something that nobody was asking for, nobody wanted, and there was like one person in the development team that was like, I like Paisas a lot. Like, why don't we just make a creepy looking Paisa mount? And they're like, they're like, nah, let's do that. Sure. And then they let him do it. For some reason. I don't know. Yeah, that covers Unreal and the new mounts.
Which leaves another very big piece of content that came out with major changes, which is PvP.
PvP is not my thing.
We got a new mode, and everybody's abilities are completely revamped.
Yeah, we changed everything about how PvP worked, basically.
Yeah, it's incredibly different. We also brought back Garo, which I think is cool, actually, just because people like it. I think the gear is ugly, but I like mounts, so I have one of the mounts.
And I hate Crystalline. I saw it, and I went, that looks unfun. I read the patch notes, and I went, this sounds worse than I thought it was. And I did it, and yet again, it got worse.
I had not played PvP prior to this patch. I very specifically never went and did PvP. I unlocked it, but I never played it. I refused because it didn't look fun, and I'm generally not a big fan of changing abilities a separate mode in the game. I don't generally enjoy that. However, I will say that making there be only a handful of abilities per job, I'm okay with, because you don't really have to learn that much. I'm pretty happy with that, if that's how it's going to be. But Crystalline Conflict, I've been playing a lot of, and I am very happy with it. I have some problems, but as a mode, I think it's a lot of fun.
I think it seems like a well-designed mode. It seems like something that if you get it and it's kind of built for you, then it's great and it works. But I hate basically everything about it. And I will probably never enter it again.
Yeah, now
I did 2 matches and decided I was done.
I have done over 100 matches now, I think. I've done a lot, and I've tried several different jobs in PvP. I naturally landed on Dragoon as what I enjoy playing. And Dragoon, people feel is pretty busted. And truthfully, Dragoon does feel pretty strong. Most of the time, I go in there and I kick quite a bit of ass. I do a lot of damage. You have a lot of burst. You don't really have any crowd control, but you have a lot of burst, so you're a pretty good killer. And it's pretty fun hunting people down and killing them. Otherwise, I like the addition of these limit breaks that each job gets. I think that's pretty fun. My major problem right now is that there's no group. You can't enter with the group.
I don't think that's changing. I think as upsetting as it is for people, it won't change.
Then just make a mode that you can go in only for pre-mages.
No, I don't think it's changing. I think that it's on the rationale that the individual is going to feel left out if people can make groups in. So if there's people like me who have basically no one else to really play with, we do things together sometimes, but that's about it, right? And I wanted to do PvP, then it would feel worse for those people, right? And I think that's where the rationale is going to be as to why you're not going to be allowing groups in. And I don't think it's going to happen. Now, I don't care. I've, gotten to my lot in life. I understand. I move on.
There's a lot of reasons in mind. One, it's an MMO. Not being able to play with friends is just inherently kind of stupid. But even taking that away, there's 2 different modes, right? Ranked and casual. You can put it in one or the other, or like I said, make a third. But it's also, I hate when I go into a match and you have 3 people who just don't know anything about what they're doing. Now, this is better in ranked, which I've been doing more of. I've gotten to gold, working through that. But it's really frustrating when it's oh, I'm in silver, and next match I'm going to get to gold. And then you just go with the group, and there was one person who was just standing around, wasn't even trying. I'm like, what are you doing? And you can't even type inside the matches.
That's a smart decision, though.
I understand why that exists, but you can't be like, hey, what the heck? Nope. Just lose, and then you go down in a star, and then you get this lose streak, and it's really frustrating. And I understand some of the reasonings behind it. I just don't agree with them. I just think make a mode for people who want group, or make ranked and casual different things, and you can make it so you can only group solo in one of them, and make it not the same for that. Casual especially, Who cares if you can go in and loot? Like, if you lose, then you lose. It's casual. You don't lose anything. I don't know. It's stupid.
Well, I think really the system is you create two different ranking systems. You create a solo ranking system and you create a group ranking system.
That'd be cool.
I think that's how you do it if you really want to keep everybody happy, right? Like, because then the only people you're going to face in groups is teams. You have to have formed a team of 5 people and you have to do it that way. Or otherwise you have to do it solo.
That'd be cool. I'd be okay with that. Now, we're early yet. Maybe they can implement something. I'm sure there's going to be balance changes for PvP in jobs. So we'll see what happens there. It's not a perfect implementation, but overall, I am really liking Crystalline. I think it's a lot of fun. Still haven't done a Frontline, though. I do need to so I can get the Garo mount, though. So
I think Frontline is more enjoyable. It's especially more enjoyable when you actually get like several people who like are actually trying and want to win, because they'll like plan things out and like take charge and tell people where to go and stuff, and that feels nicer and it's smooth. And now I'm okay running around sucking it up. There's more people. It doesn't really matter if I suck it up. Like, I don't try to suck it up most of the time. I was doing actually a lot better in PvP because I had gotten pretty comfortable with what my actual PvP buttons were. And then you said, nope, table flip, script is gone, you suck now. And now I really don't understand how half of the things work on Dragoon because I did 2 matches with it and I hated it. I'll do Frontline when it appears on, Wondrous Trails.
fair enough.
I don't really feel like the rewards on this season stuff is good. I feel like it's just kind of garbage. I don't want.
I mean, an armor set for Glam is not a bad thing.
If it was good.
I like it. I understand if it's not your thing, but I think as an incentive, that's always a good incentive. Glam is one of the best incentives in any game.
I don't really feel like it is, but that's because I'm pretty set. I've picked my outfits. They're designed.
Thankfully for you, you got your sets. You're good.
I look good. I look the same and all the time. Basically, it's great.
Fair enough.
There was a lot of mention in the main scenario about the outfit change. Because she gives you the outfit. And that was a bad, annoying thing. I really didn't like that. I was like, I don't need another outfit that's going to suck and I'm never going to wear. Oh, guess what? That's what I got. Another outfit that I don't care about. Looks crap. Maybe it looks better dyed, but I do not like the initial look of that. It looks stupid.
No, I disagree. I think it's a pretty decent set. I actually think this might be the best MSQ-related set of gear.
Nope, that's a lie. One of the other ones is decent, but I don't remember which one it is, and I don't really care.
It's hard to keep track of. There's so many.
But, yeah, the lines in the main scenario that were like, oh, yeah, looking good in your new outfit.
True.
Like, yeah, you have the same dress I've worn for like a year and a half, 2 years now. Feeling good. Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
That's the one. I am ready for a new adventure in this outfit. Mm-hmm.
Fair enough.
But, like, you get what? In the season thing, you get the armor set, you get an emote, and you get new adventurer plate weirdness, and I don't care.
I think that's fine.
Oh, you get the fashion accessories thing.
Yeah, you get some sunglasses.
I don't want fashion accessories until you fix the fact that I can't just wear them all the time and do everything in them. They're not fashion accessories. They're not even, like, photo mode things. I can change my idle pose now. Woo!
They are pretty limited.
Like, when you fix that, I'll care about them. I bought the, normal glasses. I think there's new glasses that I need to figure out where they're at, because I need all the glasses. It's important.
Of course.
Besides these normal glasses. Sunglasses are stupid.
Of course.
Mm-hmm.
Gotta have them all.
Gotta have options.
Do you even wear glasses on your character?
No, because I need the flowers in my hair, but I do wear them on the caster outfit. But the adventurer plate thing, I knew that this would be as wildly popular as it was.
It was smart of them.
I think it's a really smart feature. I messed with it, and I went, well, I'll probably never touch this again. This isn't that exciting. I don't really care about this.
This went basically how I expected. People would do it. I did it. I did not make mine super crazy. I went, this is decent and pretty basic, but it doesn't look bad, so I'm happy enough. And then I'm like, okay, there's gonna be people who sexualize this. And that happened in about 5 seconds, so.
I just don't think it's that fun. I know people who were like, it was like Wednesday, and they're like, I still haven't done anything on, the main scenario or alliance raids or anything. Because I've just been messing with the adventurer plates and making a bunch of them, and I'm just really loving this.
That's insane.
Like, I was like, I kind of forgot about it until like yesterday, and I was like, I guess I should mess with that.
Oh, yours is also still private, isn't it?
No, I just hadn't made one.
Oh, okay, because I tried clicking on it at some point, and then I couldn't.
I made it yesterday. Yeah, I messed with it yesterday, because I just kind of forgot about it. Because, yeah, it just doesn't show up if you haven't actually made one. If you haven't clicked on it, then it doesn't show up.
I see.
It says you haven't made one or it's private or whatever it told you. But yeah, it's whatever. It's fine. I used it to show off that I also, have the Jack of all cards title because I used the tournament leader title. And I was like, so now I can show you I have both of those, I guess. But like, I feel like it should just be assumed that if I was willing to put in the effort to, win 50 open tournaments, that I probably also, got all those cards.
I think it's a good feature for a lot of people. Did I need this? No. But I don't hate it. It's fine.
I think it's fine. It's inoffensive, but I'll never use it again.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like, I'll never probably mess with it again. I'll see what you change. I really want the ability to hold Triple Triad cards in my hand.
That'd be cool.
As my picture. That's the only thing I want.
That'd be cool.
If you change that, I will go back in and I will do that, and then I will probably never touch it again.
Like, if I had my job be on Red Mage, I wish I could use, like, the abilities. Like, if I could do the Ver Flare pose, that'd be cool.
Oh, they might do that. I don't know.
Who knows?
But we're still in beta, so they could change a lot of things, and
True
I
enough.
think this has a lot of potential to change, and we'll see what it does.
Fair enough.
But I guess that doesn't leave us a lot. We'll go Unending Codex. I don't know that I opened it. Honestly, I went, this is too little, too late, I don't care.
That's exactly what happened with me.
And I feel like this was going to happen with most people. And it's like, it's annoying when it's like, oh, you just watch this cutscene, here's 6 different things that are now added to it. I'm not going to click on that.
Yeah.
I don't care. I didn't forget what these things were.
I just watched the cutscene. I'm good.
Yeah, this just feels like you don't think I remember anything about your game. But I'm curious to see if we move it back. If we say, well, we're going to implement this back here.
If you implement it from A Realm Reborn, it would be more interesting.
Yeah, I think it would work better, but implementing it way late is just not worth it.
We're so far in, it's like, you either don't care or you know these people. Whatever.
You get some other nice miscellaneous things.
And some not nice ones, too.
Well, yeah, we're going to start with the nice ones. You got Dream Fitting. Did you mess with that at all? I meant to, and then I forgot.
I did.
Did you like that? Does it work pretty well?
It works fine, but I went through and saw that everything sucks on the cast shop.
Oh, for outfits, I think they do. I'd rather see it go to, like, I can have, like, a weird instance area to run around with a mount.
Yeah, that'd be better.
Just to see if I like the feel of it or I actually like the look of it or something. And now, I'm never going to do that because I'm really against buying mounts.
I don't like cast shops, so...
And I get that it makes a lot of money and it's good. You buy Fantasia, so you're not fully against it, but,
That's true, but I would still rather have it be implemented in-game as a feature.
It'd be nicer, but it's not what's going to happen. But yeah, I didn't go mess with it. I never go to an in-room, and so I don't even think about it.
Could you imagine if they made, like, a yearly repeatable quest for a Fantasia?
That'd be interesting. I don't know that I need that. I think that you should get one every expansion. Just at the end of the expansion when you finish it. Here's a Fantasia.
That'd be decent. I could, like,
or at the start.
Patch.
I'll take it at the start.
There's a lot of things you could do, but whatever. It is what it is.
Then a really important change they made is the follow changes. Do you know how happy I was when I read that in the patch notes? I teleported to random spots with Y'shtola just to do it. just because that's how happy I was that I could just deal with this crap. And they just disappear when you mount up, and then they reappear when you get off. I'd like to, if you had a 2-person mount, I didn't test it, 2 to 4-person mount, if they got in it with you. I think that'd be really cool.
That would be neat.
But I don't think that's what happens. I think they just disappear the same at this point. But I'd like that to happen.
That'd be cool.
And the other change that I'm very pleased with, the currency tab actually has my currencies on it. You know how many times I clicked on the currency tab to find my bicolor gems? And then realized that they weren't there, and then had to go to the fate thing, which I never remember where it's at.
That is a good implementation. Yeah.
Many a times did I do that, and now it's there. I had to spend some of my bicolor gems, a fair amount of them actually. I spent 600 of them.
Better go grind those back.
Nope. I mean, it would be smart to get a little more, because I think that we're going to play the same game we always play, and we're going to...
Cards.
We're going to backlog cards. Oh, you didn't need to be at rank 3 in Thavnir when we launched? Oh, you do now. Now, I'm already rank 3. I wouldn't bought it, but there's no reason to do that. There's absolutely no reason for that. Tell me what I need to do when you launch these things. But, I'm generally upset with how we handle, at least certain things in cards. The Alliance raid, as always.
They just need to hire you for cards.
Just add NPCs for all this crap. I just don't understand. You added an NPC to the raid anyway. Just add the card into it.
I'm okay with it just being a personal drop that you get in your...
The personal drop is fine for, how they're running dungeons.
I can accept that.
Also fine. but it doesn't need to be a garbage drop rate like it is for some of these cards.
I agree with that. Like,
I'll take garbage drop rates on NPCs. I have to play the game.
But if it's like a 30% drop rate, if that was like the worst drop rate, I'd be okay with that.
That's fine. There are ways that we could change the alliance rate system, and we're not going to, because we think that it encourages people to do content more, and it does. It also just makes me hate it and angry.
True.
Like rage at this point. Every time we get there, I'm just basically in rage once we get to the drop list, and I'm like, I'm gonna lose this. But I mean, basically we added a bunch of cards you bought this round, which was a little sad. Only the one NPC that I've only played 3 matches with because I got my cards. I haven't even put my drop rates in Discord yet.
You are way too hardcore into the cards.
I know.
But that's okay. I mean, I'm glad somebody is.
Yeah, it just upsets me that other people steal my cards and I don't feel like they're as dedicated. And it's
absolutely.
angry.
If somebody said, "Hey, can you pass on the card?" I'll pass. I don't care. I don't need it.
I think the best response I've seen when I've asked was someone was like, "Oh, I've gotten like 6 of those already."
Perfect.
And now I looked through the list and they did pass for me.
Oh, okay.
So like respectfully. That's nice.
Yeah, I mean...
Now, most other people mock you.
True.
And you're like, whatever, I will return the kindness to you. It doesn't really bother me. If you want this minion, great, I'll pass. I'm never going to summon this minion. I don't care.
Well, I like collecting minions, even if I don't use them. I like getting them, so I wouldn't... If I don't have it, I'm not going to pass.
Oh, I'll pass on it. I don't really care. I'll pass on orchestrals. I'll pass on gear if you really want it. Like, I don't care.
Now,
I care about this card.
Now, they did implement the new checkmark system for the collectibles, and that's a good quality of life feature. I'm glad it's there.
Fine. I don't really care a whole lot. It'll be nice for orchestrals if it shows it in actual, like, alliance raid stuff. But that's all I really care about.
No, it's just a good feature to finally have in the game. I feel like it should have been there 10 years ago, but it's here now.
That's fair. I guess the other wonderful change that we got is our housing system.
Oh, boy.
I almost feel like we didn't fix any problems. At this point, like, even without the actual error problem that we are taking pretty seriously and going to fix.
This is an embarrassing loss.
My deal is I forgot that we said we were going to split the wards by free company and personal.
Mm-hmm.
And then I actually looked at that while looking over the patch notes yesterday. And I was like, this is split by, like, I think you have 6 wards to personal.
Yeah, 6 personal.
And I went, this is stupid.
That's exactly what I said. I was so angry.
I thought it was half and half, and then it wasn't. And I was like, oh.
Oh my god, it's so stupid. Because I wanted a big house. I've been wanting a big house. I save up money so I can buy a large house. Because I think that's more fun. And you know what? I don't get a large house. So, it's fine. It is what it is. I'm glad we have 1,000 freaking wards for FCs. Ugh. Now, our FC did get a big house in his card.
Oh, you guys made it over there, huh?
Yep, we got it. So that's pretty cool. Good on them for getting it. Awesome.
Yeah, I need to go look over there now that people actually have houses over there and actually look and see if it looks as boring as I think it's going to look. But it probably will.
Yeah, it looks exactly like you would expect.
And I just think Ishgard was a nice addition. It's just boring.
I like it, but it's an aesthetic I like, so.
But yeah, we got that, I guess, which is bad. The lottery system is not really a large improvement. It just means that there's not a lot of time spent on it, which is nice. Now you need to get the lottery system to work like you want it to work.
They have to be embarrassed that people who didn't have anybody to go up against, they were the only person on this lot, lost to a number 0. Oof. That's bad.
I mean, they're taking it pretty seriously. Like, we're not going to start the new round until we fix this problem. Like,
We're not
gonna let this get screwed up and do that. And that's fine. Mistakes happen.
I understand, but it's like, this is a whole new thing you're implementing. People have complained about this housing system for years. It has always been a terrible system. And then you're like, all right, we're going to fix this. And then you come in and just do a terrible launch with it. Not good. It's not a good look. It's super annoying. Yeah, it's good that they're taking it seriously, but that's because everybody's pissed at them.
Well, I think they take it seriously either way. It's a big deal.
I agree, but it shouldn't have happened in the first place.
Shouldn't happen, that's fair. It is what happened, and that sucks. I have my house still. There's only one house right now after things swapped that I can go buy as a large house if I want to upgrade. Because I only care about Shiro and lavender beds. So...
Fair enough. But yeah, nope, new housing. I'm interested to see how this gets fixed. We'll see. But then there's another change that happened, and another one that I'm not happy with. The removal of permadeath in several Realm Reborn trials. Well, maybe just the one trial in a Realm Reborn and all of its difficulties.
Well, no, it's
Bismarck.
it's in all the trials.
Thok is Thok.
Yeah, we changed all of them. There's no permadeath anymore.
That is so disappointing.
I think it's sad because it is just kind of an enjoyable thing to like watch people fail and screw up, or like it's kind of that mark of passage type thing. And
did that list include Never Reap the dungeon from Heaven's Word? Because that dungeon at the end had it too.
I think it might have. We changed Sorkai.
Oh yeah. Oh, they changed that entirely too.
Yeah, the platforms don't break. You can't fall.
That's so dumb.
It sounds like maybe if you get hit, though, you will basically immediately die. Because we upped the damage on that hit. But I don't really know. I don't get that anymore. I spent like 10 days in a row getting that. No joke, though.
Yeah, it's not a dungeon I care about. But whatever. I don't like this change. I enjoyed watching Sprouts get knocked off in Titan. I thought it was funny.
I'm more interested to see how we're going to handle that in Unreal at this point. Because if we go, oh, well, here's Sephiroth now. Does Sephiroth have permadeath?
No.
Or does Sephiroth not have permadeath?
It won't
anymore?
have permadeath. They're taking it out.
Because that is...
Guaranteed.
That is a real harsh bit of like Titan and Leviathan. Oh my gosh. The amount of times you failed because like someone got thrown off the edge. And sometimes it happens, right? Sometimes it's like you risked it, you greeted a little too much and server tick screwed you. It's fair. I've done this, but it's not pleasant. It's still really irritating.
It's disappointing. It's not that big a deal, right?
It's not that big of a deal because it's things that you...
It's low-level content I don't care about.
Yeah, you weren't really going to mess with it. It's fine, but it is sad that we took it out. I feel like that was a poor choice. It just feels like we're trending towards, like, this game needs to be, piss poor easy.
This game that's already easy needs to be exceptionally easy even more. Oh boy.
Yeah, and I think the line of reasoning at the moment, I feel like, is probably that we have a large influx of new people and we don't want them to, get scared off by antiquated ideas and mechanics and things that we, clearly have moved on from at this point. But if they don't stick around long enough to do that, then they won't know that. But I also go, it's not that bad. We don't need to make it easier.
Fair enough. It's disappointing. It's not the end of the world. I really hope that in Savage, I don't think they do Extreme, but at least in Savage or in Ultimate, we can at least bring that back. I don't see a problem with it being there in at least those difficulties.
Oh, I think it'd be more interesting if certain Savage fights launched in Permadeath.
I think that'd be cool.
I think it'd make races more interesting, and it'd make things really punishing. I don't know that Ultimate, as an already overly punishing system, needs permadeath.
I mean, whatever.
So I don't need that there, but that's fine. That's whatever.
I don't think any of the fights in the new one coming out is going to have a platform that would be possible to fall off of.
I don't know. It doesn't really matter. It'll probably be a death wall, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, there'll definitely be a death wall.
But I don't really care a lot about permadeath, but I wish it had stayed. I think it's just indicative that maybe things are going to go into a incredibly easy fashion for no real good reason. But we'll see. I don't know, we also made massive changes to A Realm Reborn, though, in the main scenario department. And we went in and we did the new Ultima trial.
It is definitely different.
It's radically different, and I feel like more annoying than where it was.
We haven't done the dungeons, though.
Yeah, we didn't go to Meridium or Praetorium.
Now, what I hear from there is that getting through those is much more gameplay oriented than just cutscene oriented now. Instead of doing a lot of cutscenes, you do a lot of fighting and then cutscenes aren't as long or as many. And so that sounds good. I don't know how long it takes to get through all 3 sections. If you're going through New Game, how long does it take to get through all 3? I don't know. Is it comparable?
Well, now you technically have to go, if you're going by New Game, that you get Meridium, you get Praetorium, you get Ultima or Port Deculum or whatever, and you get the La Habrea instance. All 4 of those things have to count, right? And I wanted to go through and see how Cape Westwind and La Habrea were, but that's too much of my time that I don't have.
Fair enough.
So, whatever. I mean, I think it's nice that we're trying to change things. I don't know how much that's going to help or not help, but I'd rather you just allow for cutscenes to be skipped. I think that just leaves us with the role quests and job changes. Let's start with job changes. I don't like any of the changes on Dragoon. They all suck this round. It ruins the feel of Dragoon. Really bad.
Really?
The shortened jumps to me.
Interesting.
I don't like it. Like, yeah, you kind of took out a button bloat item, but I liked that was a separate ability. Because now I feel like it's really easy to hit that and clip.
Oh.
Because you're just hitting it right to get it to go.
Mm-hmm. So harder to double weave it.
So, well, you have more time now, so it's not necessarily as big of a deal. But high jump, I didn't test with, like, lower jump. I didn't sink myself down to something and do that. But high jump is just basically instant.
It's pretty fast.
And it doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel like I'm doing a jump. It feels like I just hit a random ability. Like, But the other jumps just feel off because I've spent so long with them being at, the speed they were. I don't feel like they needed to change. And then every time, Stardiver is like, oh, I don't have enough time for that. I just go, wow, didn't change that one though. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. What jerks. What a bunch of jerks you are. But I don't know that it's gonna fix itself. I feel like I'll move on. It's like the tether. Every time I hit the tether, I just wonder where it's at. Every time. No joke.
I'm still sad the tether's gone.
I liked the tether. It really is sad to me that the tether's no longer there. Because I think about it, basically every time I hit this button, which is frequent, I've moved on, and I feel like that's what the speed changes will become. But it felt better.
It's another instance of things getting a little bit easier and simplified.
For no real reason, like, at all.
I mean, I feel like the most important changes for Dark Knights, which got some pretty big revamps on Living Dead and Blood Weapon, which are positive things. That's cool.
You mess around with that at all?
I saw other people do it. I didn't personally. Well, no, I did. I did the role quest on Dark Knight, so I could test it actually for the Blood Weapon. So I did test that at least. It's a good change.
Yeah, and there's no job changes that are important to talk about in your world.
I was kind of disappointed with this round.
Were you?
Yeah, I was hoping for. I guess the one monk change where perfect balance can't be fat fingered is pretty nice, but it's pretty small. Didn't really change the job in any real way. Same thing. You can still just drag and kick your way through.
I thought they were going to change that after people had pointed out how broken that was.
Nope.
There's not anything else I have to say about job changes. So then we get to role quests. Now you slacked and didn't have your stuff done on time. So you recently ran through healer and tank.
Yeah, I just did both.
Along with the newest thing. But I did not. So we got the nice new quest, which is what I thought it was going to be. Too many moving parts, too many people. The instance feels cool. I'm running through with my friends and all my cool people, and that feels cool.
It's
and
neat.
Nice.
It's neat.
I don't really like that I'm killing a bunch of ads, basically.
That's what it is.
That's kind of annoying.
Oh boy, more ads, because I haven't done this enough.
Especially because I don't particularly love AoE on Dragoon, and it's just not very fun. But, the instance in and of itself feels cool. I didn't need Nero to be there. That was weird. But I also am a big proponent that Nero should have died in Crystal Tower.
Yeah, he probably should have.
And he's still here. I'm confused as to why we are setting up, Garlemald going to the moon. Some of them are going to the moon, and I think that that's interesting. I'm interested to see what we actually do with that, but I don't really know why we needed that.
You know what I think we should have done?
With?
The role quest.
What?
Brought back the Gundam. Where's my Gundam at?
I think the Gundam thing was funny, but
it was so cool.
It's the best part of Sorrow World, honestly. And I'm not a Gundam fan. It was just the most interesting part.
I'm waiting for the duty where I get to use this again. This was not it.
I didn't think this was going to be it.
Well, I didn't think so, but I'm looking.
Yeah, I mean, it did get my pronouns wrong in one of these scenes, though. It was a deal. There's a scene. It's where Forchant or whatever, the twins' father, is saying something to you, and he called me a ma'am. And I was like, that is not true. My character is a woman? That hurts.
I didn't notice.
I noticed it. I made a deal about it.
Yeah, I mean, I play as a female Raw. I did not notice.
I don't know. I mean, it's definitely an error. It's not a big deal.
Right.
I just thought it was really funny because it's the first time I've ever seen it screw up like that.
Yeah, they're generally pretty good.
But other than that, yeah, it was a basic story that I was kind of like, okay, great.
The one detail that I liked was that Fordola got her necklace, whatever, the collar removed on her model. which is like, that's a cool touch. Now, I only noticed because I had just done that. I was like, oh, we'll probably get that removed for you. And then it's removed. All right, that's cool.
I remember them saying it was removed, and so I just assumed it was removed. I don't know, I didn't go look at it afterwards to check. I didn't really care. That's a decent role quest.
It was okay. The tank one was better.
Well, the tank one was the best one.
No, the ranged was the best.
You just like Yaguri and Heian too much.
I think they're the best of the leaders of the nation states.
Lies.
So I like that one the most. I think Ishgard's the worst.
I agree with that, but the rest of that's not true. So you are ending on being wrong. That's sad for you.
But yeah, the new role stuff, it was super predictable. It was like, oh, okay, so we're just doing a big reunion tour again. That's fine. I don't hate it. I like doing the instance with a bunch of friends. I kind of wish they had a bigger role to play, because you get, like, Melwarps off to the side immediately. You're like, all right, well, see ya. You're not really doing a whole lot here.
Connie's trying to get shoved off to the side early.
And
that's whatever.
Rick, it's like, okay, it'd be cooler if you went through different sections with each of them, outside of just a trash pull. But
I thought that's how it might be, because it sets it up like there's checkpoints and...
Yes, that's where I thought. Nope, it's pretty short. Go and kill a boss.
That's fair. The only other thing we haven't talked about, do you think that this KO darkening thing is useful? Did you notice it at all? Because I didn't.
We didn't wipe in our reclears enough for me to have noticed.
Arya also is, though. You wiped an Arya. Arya's on the same change.
There's only one mechanic where I would even kind of notice it. It didn't feel like it was long enough of a difference to make me care.
We went through Arya, and then I was like, I didn't even notice it.
But I never needed that in the first place. I didn't have a problem with where we were at.
I don't know. It seems like a weird change that I'm just like, maybe this is useful, but it doesn't seem like it's going to be useful.
There are certain mechanics in Savage where I could see seeing an extra second or two could make a big difference every now and then. But oftentimes, it's whatever.
I mean, I feel like it might be useful at top tier rating.
In Ultimate, it could be useful, maybe.
But neither of us are that. But that's the last thing that I got. I don't think there's anything else to really talk about. Complain more about the Alliance raid card system if you want.
But overall, so far, I think 6.1, pretty decent patch. It's way better than 5.1. 5.1 sucked.
I was thinking through it, and I feel like it's the best 0.1 patch.
I don't remember Heavenward well enough to say.
I just feel like they're all kind of crap.
I don't think Stormblood was bad. 4.1.
I don't remember exactly what happens in them all, but I just generally remember, like, 0.1 was not great.
This is a pretty solid 0.1.
For main scenario, I think it's a decent...
Oh, for MSQ, it's definitely good.
It's pretty good. And that's what our score will be on, is main scenario. But before we get there, it's been a pleasure. Yeah, we talked about all this stuff. I don't know that I hated on everything here. Just the card system, basically.
And Alizé.
Well, I did have to throw Alizé under the bus. Yeah, it's important.
Every time.
It's important to keep Alizé firmly rooted under the bus.
It is.
So that she understands that it's a mercy that she's still alive under the bus. But if you enjoyed this, if this is pleasurable for you, you come back around for part 2 when we discuss basically everything else that's going to come out in this patch.
There'll be a lot of story stuff.
But you come back for that. You like, you comment, you subscribe. With suggestions. Tell us what you think about this patch. Your favorite part. The best change. The worst change. Anything you really want to put on there.
Yeah, let us know. Also, you could go and tell people in game. You could tell your friends, your FC members. Now, if you're like Nietzsche over here and have none of those things, then I don't know what to tell you. But
you create a party finder.
Don't spam people.
You spam people in party finder.
Oh man.
You create an advertisement.
I don't endorse that, but you can do so at Nietzsche's behest.
If I see it, I will join your party.
Oh.
And be very pleased with you. I will probably give you money because I have way too much money.
That's a pretty good deal.
So, you just gotta hope that I see it.
Yeah, now, what server are you on?
Matthias?
Yeah, Matthias. Yeah, okay. Crystal, so you can put that up for him.
Mm-hmm.
How much are you gonna pay him?
It depends on how creative I think it is.
Okay.
How much I enjoy it.
So it's a sliding scale.
Yeah, clearly.
Good stuff.
Alright, what are you giving the score of this story in this patch here?
For the MSQ, I'm gonna give this an 8.
I'm giving this a 7 out of 10.
Have at us.